Hey, welcome in, welcome in. Can you check the chat and see if there's a way to type in the chat? Because I don't see I don't even know if the chat feature is on. I might have to back out. Okay. Yes, I see it. Okay, what's up, family? I see y'all. I see y'all. Okay. Hey, what's up, fam? Welcome in, welcome in. I'm awesome. It's Friday. Hey, it's Friday. I know y'all happy. It's Friday. No, I can't type in the chat. But I was just wondering if y'all could have access to the chat because I couldn't see. I couldn't see who was in here. So welcome in, welcome in. It's been a minute since we got to kick it and chop it up on a live. I don't know if I'm too far away. I don't know if I can. I can zoom this in. Wow. Y'all, I'm so old school. I don't know. I be out of the loop when it comes to technology. That's a daggone shame. That's a daggone shame. What y'all up to on a Friday? I came on here because we have not kicked it in a minute. We haven't chatted or anything. So I said I wanted to link with the family today. I know I have told y'all, share my little story about, taking my weed oil and not my weed oil, my ganja oil, and how like I was out in the streets like tripping out off of my ganja oil, and I was like, shoot, if you have to hear the story of like when I first smoked my first blunt. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. So this might be a continuation of that, and we just hit it, kick it. So let me see who we got in here. Um, come on, hold up, y'all. Let me get my glasses. Y'all know I'm child a little struggly. Hold up. My daggone glasses at? I got a magnifying glass. Is that terrible? I don't know what I did with my damn glasses. Shoot, they probably in the car somewhere. Let me see who's in here. No, I can't do that. That look crazy. But okay, so I see Isadora. Hey Izzy. Rasta Vibe Studio. What's that, Rasta? You got a studio? And are you in Jamaica? Yes, my locks are getting long. My baby's getting kind of long, and y'all, I got my locks maintained the other day, so the roots are nice and tight right now. hmm I see Ellie Bron LeBron James official. Ciao, bye. I like I like that name, but come on now. Um, yeah, Rasta Vibes. You got a studio? Hey, where you at? Where you located at? Because I be trying to get in the studio in the booth anytime I can. Um, mm, 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 mm. Angel, Angel, Amos. What's up, Angel? My baby. Rasta vibes, pon the road. Okay, Rasta. I got it. I got it. But I was wondering if you had a studio. Because your girl be trying to be up in the studio. What y'all doing? I know Rasta say he on the road. It's a Friday. Anybody turning up? Anybody got a glass of wine or a drink or anything yet? Columbia. Okay. Studio in Columbus, Ohio. Maybe this is a little bit. Let me zoom out a little bit. Too close. But yeah, so look, welcome, family. Hey, we get to kick it a little bit, turn up a little bit. So yeah, let me share this story with y'all real quick about the first time, my first introduction to some Mary Jane child. So Let me just give you the setting first. So I'm in DC, because I'm from DC. And so my mom, she had just moved us out of like an okay part of DC to like the hood, the projects. And I'm like 14 years old. And I think I had just started middle school or was about to start middle school. And just being in the environment of like being in the hood in like the rough projects at the height of the crack era, like seeing crackheads and prostitutes and everything everywhere, like that was so new to me. And you know, it was just a new environment. And like when I would go to school, I would see kids dripped out, like project kids dripped out in like Jordans, and they had their hair done and nails and all this stuff. And I'm like, it really was an eye opener for me because I guess I was sheltered prior to that. Must have been. But yeah, when I got to the hood, boy, like I had to start kind of growing up quick. You know what I'm saying? Like the streets will teach you quick on how to finagle and survive. Shoot, the hood is the best place to learn your survival skills, if you ask me. So anyway, so I'm 13, 14. Well, actually, I'm 14, probably going on 15, and I'm in school, a brand new school, and it's a whole bunch of project kids in my school, and a lot of people. I'm being exposed to a lot of stuff. I'm seeing a lot of girls coming to school pregnant, 15, 16 years old in middle school, pregnant. Um, you know, uh, like I said, it's the height of the crack era. So you got a lot of these 14, 15-year-old boys who was like getting locked up. A lot of the kids from my school was like, trying to sell crack and stuff. And it wow. It was like the wild, wild west. A lot of kids was getting killed for like tennis shoes and clothes and all that stuff because of being in the projects. And I'm sure y'all can relate. Those of y'all who grew up in big cities. But so anyway, so I say that to say I'm just trying to paint a picture for to give you an idea of the environment that I grew up in. And so a lot of that meant I didn't spend a lot of time in school. As a matter of fact, I spent a lot of my time hooking school, right? With my friends. And so in the neighborhood, there were two guys that I used to hang out with in the neighborhood. They were my age. Um and I don't know if I want to call their names out, but anyway, they always were smoking weed, right? So I was like, look, I'm trying to get on. I'm trying to see what's going on. So one day, so all th- all three of us, none of us had fathers in the home, right? Our mothers were single parents, and one of my friends' parents was a very, very, very strung out crackhead. She had a house full of kids. She was never home. She was always strung out. So we ended up going to his house, my first time smoking weed, me, him, and my other friend. And you know, we sitting down and they rolling. And I'm kind of like, okay, let's do this because I ain't never done it before. And everybody in school talking about it, and everybody, it's it's the peer pressure, I guess. So I take my first little, pull, and child, y'all already know I'm a lightweight. I done already been through that story. But took my first pull and nothing happened. I was sitting down for I guess probably about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, child. And then I looked and the mother flipping room started spinning. Child, stuff started going slow. Like I was in slow motion, like I was in a fishbowl or something. And I just freaked out. I freaked out. I jumped up. I thought they had I thought they had laced the ganja. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what is going on?" I didn't expect for it to hit like that. So, I don't know if I just have a I guess I just have a low tolerance. Because I know a lot of people say, they smoke, but they never really took to it because they never felt anything out of it. You know what I mean? But shit, not me. I was like, oh no. these motherfuckers then laced the weed, and I jumped up and I ran out the house, and it was snowing that night, I remember. And yeah, I ran out the house and I was so gone, y'all. There was a bus coming. And I was like, my friend was like, wait, don't walk out in front of the bus. And we walking down the street and he walked me to my mom's, down to my house. And child, I walked in the house and my mom, I was paranoid thinking she was gonna smell it on me because I was like 14 or 15, but I don't know if she did or didn't. She didn't say nothing. But shit, I was so paranoid because I was like, she gonna get my ass. I know she gonna know I was smoking. So, yeah, that was my first experience, and that should have told me that I should learn from there that I'm a lightweight and I can't really tolerate too much. But my first experience, I freaked out. So I don't know if uh I don't know if anybody else has had that experience of freaking out when they smoke. I do. I smoke. I don't smoke much, but child, I'm one pull and done, and I be nice, and so yeah, man. If you a smoker, put some flames in the chat area. So yeah, so that my experience with the actual herb is it's kind of hit or miss. But so that's why I moved over to the oil. I was like, okay, so the oil won't be as potent. Child, that's a lie. The oil hits to me, it's even harder and it's more potent because to me it lasts longer. You know what I'm saying? The effects last a lot longer. So, mhm. So you said I'm 65. Used to smoke lots, but now that I'm older, I only need a full. I'm trying to tell you. I don't know. I think it is because I'm a little older now. Because I did, even though I freaked out that first time, I stuck with it because everybody else was doing it. So, like I said, I was smoking blunts and stuff. But yeah, that was interesting. So yeah, I can't do the. I can only do a little bit of the oil every now and then when I want to turn up. So my birthday is in 3 days, right? So you already know what that means. Your girl is going to have to get lit. I don't know if that means oil or if that means shots, but your girl is going to have to get lit. Um, but whatever it means, I promise you I will be safe. I promise you I will use some safe transportation and party responsibly, but I'm freaking wild out, man, because this year has been absolutely crazy. Even though it flew by so fast, I don't know where the time went, but it has been a crazy year. And I'll tell you, my whole I guess they're themes to our lives, like chapters. And I would say the theme to this past year for me was, I'm always trying to look inward at myself and do work on myself so that I can kind of elevate on a spiritual level. And so this year, my focus was really, really digging deep into like my ego, you know what I'm saying? And really learning my ego and like my shadow and trying to be more balanced in my ego, see how my ego has an effect on me and yeah, so that I can be more balanced and harmonious and move it out of the way so that I can have more peace, because you can't have happiness, joy, abundance, wealth. You can't manifest without having those things cleared out. So for me, that was a big one because I'm like, for so many years, I felt like I had so many blockages and, I had tried so many different endeavors, and they just I just didn't seem to be able to manifest at the level that I thought I should be able to manifest. Given the fact that I am, a person who likes to sow good seeds. You know what I mean? I like to treat people the way I like to be treated. So I don't be going around, effing people over and, just being an asshole and a dick to people. Lucia, hey Lucia, Como Mountain, hey girl or guy. That's my family. Como Mountain be hitting me up, boy, with them comments. She be in there. Tell me she or he. I'm not sure, but I know you be in there. You be in there on my post. I appreciate you. But yeah, so anyway, so yeah, that ego, man, I just, was digging deep this year. Trying to focus on my ego, trying to make sure that I could clear out what I could clear out, let go of all the obstructions and blockages, you know, that my ego can create. Like, I'll give you some examples. Like a lot of times, we'll come from backgrounds that may have been pretty toxic. Like I said, I grew up in an very impoverished area that's very hood, and a lot of violence, a lot of, low vibrational energy, anger, sadness, depression, frustration, people pissed off because they don't have enough, and, robbing Peter to pay Paul. And so, that leads to a lot of domestic violence, arguments in the house. As children, we come up seeing a whole bunch of crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Crazy stuff early. Even as far as the violence and the killings and stuff like that. When we younger and have and lose friends and stuff. When I was 14, starting out on my ganja smoking journey, I was losing friends then, all throughout my teens, losing friends to gun violence, in DC. And so, a lot of those things I feel like we're forced to just compartmentalize them or push them to the side or suppress them so that we can keep going. We just keep going, you know what I'm saying, in life. And we just build up this tough armor to be able to bear and fight through anything in life. You know what I mean? So with that being said, the ego, man, the ego just it's built and created off of survival, you know, and sometimes that's not a healthy thing. So this year I just took a step back and was like, okay, I'm gonna peel back all the layers of the onion and get to the root of all the trauma and the issues that I've been carrying along with me, without like really and truly healing them. I'm going to get to the root of them and look at them seriously and face them seriously, and truly, truly connect with all of my issues through a space of love, you know, not through a space of judgment and condemnation and, you know, uh, a space of aggression or like, I don't know, speaking down on myself, but just out of love. Like, okay, you've been carrying this little issue. Your mom, you grew up in an environment where, you saw some domestic violence. So you need to heal. You need to heal from that. As a child, you felt like you didn't have any control. So maybe you may have developed some characteristics where you felt like you had to be in control. In the military, we have to be leaders. We have to control other people. So, yeah. So control, looking at control issues, looking at, different insecurities, because we all have them, you know. Some of them we're aware of, some of them we're not aware of, but just loving ourselves through those insecurities. So, So yeah, so this was a fast year. My birthday is coming up in 3 days, child. I done done a lot of work, a lot of hard work on my ego this year. So I have a lot to celebrate. Okay. I feel like I've come a long way. All right. With my self-assessments and my growth, my spiritual, my personal growth. So, bro, it's time to really, really let it go in 3 days. And because I'm just living, and I'll be honest with you, the general taught me this, to not look at time. He taught me, he drilled it into my head. Don't look at time. Don't look at, stop looking at your watch. Stop looking at the days. Stop, just live. Just live and enjoy living. And I have been doing that. And so I didn't even realize it was the 12th of December. You know what I mean? Hey, Empress, Epiphany, welcome. Yeah, so I didn't even realize it was the 12th. My birthday is in 3 days. I didn't know. I just be living. I just be living. So life is so much better that way, man. And I know, because I don't have to work, right now or hopefully ever again. I get afforded that luxury, I guess. But man, look, if you can make it a habit when you get home from work to put your phone down, put your watch down, put all that crap down, even on the weekends, if you can make it a habit to go all day without looking at the time, just see what a difference. Just do a comparison and see how different that feels. It feels so freeing not to be constricted by time. He was a wise man. I'm trying to tell you. I learned so much. Oh my gosh, the gems and the jewels. You got to hit that. You hit the nail on the head for real. Very, very wise and special. Yes, 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 yes. So yeah, so I just wanted to check in and chop it up with y'all because we have not connected in a minute on a live, and I just wanted to see if this thing was still working, y'all. See if y'all was still out there. I see a lot of y'all in here to be leaving me messages and comments. I am so thankful for that because then I know that I'm not talking to myself when I post these videos, child. Because half the time I don't know. I don't know if the information that I'm, talking about or sharing or whatever is resonating. And how do y'all like the cards? How do y'all like the card readings? Have any of y'all watched the card readings? Because I can pull, look, don't get me started because I can pull two or three cards. I can pull two or three cards right now. That's my that's my my gift, my special gift. Yeah, man. Yeah, I do appreciate. Oh, and just be advised, family, when it comes to this channel, don't put a lot of weight into the count, the view counts, and all of this stuff. Somebody made a comment to me today on one of the videos that I posted. Oh, the video that I posted about being woke. I was like, wait a minute. I grew up in a community, in the all black community, where being woke was what we were all striving to be. Like, people been trying to awaken us to like the truth, to see the truth about life, society, things. Like, people been trying to wake us up to the truth for the longest. Now that we're awake, now it's like a joke to be woke. Now it's like a ridicule. Now you consider a quack or crazy if you woke. Like, I heard, I was on the phone with a guy, one of my friends, child, the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, I ain't on that woke stuff." I was like, "Scared? What? Excuse me? I'm hearing a black man say he not on no woke stuff. How much of an oxymoron is that? How? How can you not Wait. What's voodoo, child? What's like voodoo? I don't mess around with no voodoo over I don't mess around with no voodoo over here. Now you know good and damn well. Don't even play with me like that. Como, Cold Mountain, you know better than that. These cards, these cards are not like voodoo. Stop the BS. You must not have listened to any of my readings. You know good and daggone well these cards are not no voodoo. Stop the playing now. Don't try to twist things up over here. That is not the way we roll. Ain't got nothing to do with voodoo. I don't know who told you that. Where you get that information from? Talk to me, Cold Mountain. Where you get that? Who told you that these cards were voodoo? That's strange. Anyway, so um, so yeah, you've listened to my card readings, and what you've gathered is voodoo from my card readings. I just don't believe in that. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, I can respect that. Okay, I can definitely respect if you don't believe in it. That's fine, but to say that it's voodoo, where no voodoo or I'm like, what? Where is that coming from? Voodoo, child, bye. Okay, so anyway, so the woke thing, right? So So when I was growing up, it was like people was cool as I don't know what. Like I said, Erica Badu came out. She was the first woke person that I was introduced to. Apparently, the woke. There have been waves of wokeness. I guess you would say the '70s when the hippies were around was a time of wokeness. You know what I'm saying? People were taking a lot of LSD and mushrooms and being exposed to some, deeper truths and being exposed to, yeah, a different side of, I guess, the veil. Um, so there've been different waves, but Erica Badu was the first person that I ever saw or heard really bring that into a big platform. You know what I'm saying? Bring that to the masses in a big way. Like that, she kind of woke me up a little bit. You know what I mean? Just even thinking or seeing, like I saw her head was wrapped and she was wearing her ankh and all her symbols and stuff like that. And I'm like, and she coming out on, in her video and on stage burning incense. And I'm like, that's really intriguing. That really spoke to my spirit. Like the way that she was just so tapped in to something different that I had never been exposed to. It really sparked my curiosity about the Ankh. You know what I mean? About these symbols. Like, what did all of this mean? Even, the way she wore her head wrap and she would put like markings and stuff on her face, like that really and truly spoke to me. And so I feel like it spoke to something ancient that was buried in me, that's always been inside of me. You know what I mean? But that might have been covered, hidden, shielded because I had some different spiritual beliefs. I was raised as a Christian, you know what I mean? So I wasn't privy to the other side of spirituality. If you ask me, in my opinion, the true side of spirituality, I wasn't privy to that. The spirituality that she was presenting is the spirituality that our ancient ancestors, that's the thread that they walked in. You know what I mean? That ancient wisdom and truth, according to me, in my opinion. But yeah, so it's just weird that how that terminology got hijacked. You know what I mean? People say that if you woke, like now, like I was saying, that there have been waves of wokeness that seem to have come and gone, right? The hippies, the Erica Badu generation now is coming back. And to me, it's kind of like on a really high glide path right now. Um, a lot of people are awakening, but it's like the narrative has been hijacked for people to say, "Oh, if you woke, you crazy." Just like when deep, 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 when that whole situation came out, and they were trying to pit people who were deep versus who weren't deep. You know what I'm saying? They would say, "Oh, the people who weren't deep were a problem." They were trying to create this narrative around the people who weren't, as if we were ruining society, or we were, you know what I'm saying, we were a problem. It's the same thing with the whole woke thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like they want to paint this narrative like being woke is a problem. Oh, it's craziness. It's, you know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Like, so you just got to be careful, man. You got to be careful, like how you allow yourself to be influenced, and who you allow yourself to be influenced by. Even with me, I be telling, I tell y'all, I'm gonna say it again. I've said it before. Question everything you hear me say. Go back and look it up, research it. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, how did woke get hijacked and turned into something negative? Always been a positive thing for people to be awake and aware, for people to question what the heck is going on around them, and not be sleep and just led easily like a sheep. Opposite of woke is being sleep and being led like a sheep. Who has time for that? I mean, unless, I don't know, unless some people enjoy that. I mean, they could, but I'm just saying, I just think it's interesting how the terminology got hijacked. Yeah. Yeah, they be trying to shape things and shape narratives a certain way to sway the masses. You gotta be careful with that, because let history tell it. I don't know how much truth there is to this, but that's the same way they tried to shape the narrative about Hitler, and saying that first it started with the Jews, and then he moved to a different, like, he moved to different races of people that he was targeting. um I don't know. I don't know, I was going somewhere with that, child, but I lost my train of thought. So anyway, yeah, just shaping narratives is basically what I was talking about. And we saw it with the whole outbreak situation, where you know if you didn't get the beep, then they would paint you as an issue or a problem. So you just gotta be careful, man, what you believe, and what information you letting in and receiving. So anyway, that's my spiel. I appreciate y'all stopping by. How much time we been on here? 34 minutes? Do it feel like it's been that long? Damn, time be flying. What the hell? Let me see what these comments talking about. Moana. Hey, Moana, baby. Amani na child. Oh, Amani na Upendo Malika. Peace and love, Queen from Uganda. Mwah! Thank you. I love that. Swahili. Thank you for bringing that light to the page. I appreciate that. Wow, Swahili. Bro, talking about ancient. Man, what? Ancient. Wow. Ancient tongue. That's incredible. That's so beautiful. Swahili. Mm-mm-mm. I do appreciate that. Are you in Uganda right now, Juana? If she's still on here, she might have dipped in and dipped out. But anyway, I'm about to wrap this up, y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank you for coming to chill with your sis. We gotta do this more often. Oh, oh my goodness. I love this. Thank you so much. Uganda. Wow. Man. Oh, my birthday, y'all. Okay, so look, that's beautiful. Listen, Moana, send me some pictures. Send me some pictures of you and Uganda. Y'all, y'all know my email is on the channel in the about section. Okay. So feel free to email me. Feel free to chop it up just to say hi, so we can connect. I mean, if you feel like it, child. Ain't nobody, I mean, I ain't trying to twist your arm or nothing. But if you feel like it, stop by and drop a line and say hello. Yes, because I would love to connect on my birthday just to get some love on my birthday. On my Earth Strong, on my solar return. But anyway, I've chatted enough and I'm about to roll out and get comfortable and kick my feet up. So I will catch y'all on the next one. I love y'all. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing some of your time with your sister. Love y'all. Bye.